Welcome back. This is Emily at Emily's podcast, Tribute to All Little Angels. I appreciate you being patient with me. I am today going to begin to give times, dates, and events to refresh Megan's story without all my emotions, or I'm going to at least try. Thank you for listening. May 7th, 2015. The state of Oklahoma had floods of 7.1 inches of rain. After the street reopened in the area, May 9th, 2015, I visited the cemetery in Moore, Oklahoma on 4th Street to find headstones moved from their location. May 11th, 2015, my daughter Nicole start calling the city to be told I will write a work order and send someone out there. No returned calls. Nicole would call again, no returned calls. I start calling to be told the same thing. I will write a work order and send someone out there. No calls back. I look at pictures. I compare them to pictures taken the day of the flood and taken in 1999, 2000, 2004, and 2008. Still no returned calls. March 28, 2016, I call again and Linda gave me the city manager's number. I called. I left a message. I called again. A woman put me through to Stan. Stan and I met at the cemetery the same day at 3 p.m. I told him my concerns, and he said he would set up a time and date and call me to meet with him to view the pictures. He didn't call when he said he would, so I called him Friday, 2:15 p.m. April 6, 2016, 11 o'clock a.m., we met at the City Hall, Stan, Linda, Mark, and myself. I told them what my concerns were, and I showed them the pictures, and they don't match up, and they went on defense. Stan asked Mark, "You cut down a tree?" Mark put his head down and mumbled, "Uh-huh." I asked to go to the cemetery to visualize what I was saying. We did. We met at the cemetery just a matter of minutes later. When we arrived at the cemetery, where they said they cut down a tree was not the area there was a tree. Red flags popped up in my mind and I knew something wasn't right. I start investigating it. I compared pictures, lots of pictures. I compared pictures from the day of the flood to pictures taken in 2000. I compared pictures from the day of the flood to Easter of 2016. There's no tree in either picture where they said they cut down a tree. After the meeting on April 6, 2016 was when I start taking more pictures of the area. I compared the pictures of the two trees, the north tree and the south tree. April 18, 2016, I start calling attorneys. April 19, 2016, an attorney called me back and gave me some advice. I wrote letters. April 21, 2016, 12:52 p.m., I faxed letters to city councilmen. No calls. May 4th, 2016, I mailed letters to our state senators and representatives. May 9th, 2016, 1 year. No help, no contact. May 16th, 2016, 10:57 a.m., an Oklahoma City senator called me. He asked me about the letter and he told me it was in great detail. He asked me to send him some more information and pictures. May 17th, 2016, I sent his envelope of information. May 19th, Senator Shorty received his envelope. August 2016, I called the city, no calls back. September 9th, 2016, I called the surveying company. October 2016, we put a pumpkin on Megan's headstone. Now, a dirt pile where they say they cut down a tree. October 27, 2016, 3:36 p.m. I called the surveying company and I left a message. November 18, 2016, the surveyor called. He said, "I haven't forgotten about you." December 2016, I met the surveyor's partner at the cemetery. I told him my concerns and he said, as soon as it warms up, he will do what he can. February 14, 2017, 10:25 a.m., the surveyor partner called. He said as soon as it dries up, he would go out there and do what he could. Between February and May of 2017, I have not heard back from the surveyors, the city councilmen, our senators, or our representatives. May 9, 2017, 2 years. I called the surveyor at 11:26 a.m., no calls back. May 15, 2017, I called the surveyor's partner at 3:36 p.m. I left a message. No calls back. Memorial Day 2017, at the cemetery, I talked with an elderly couple and they were there for their grandson. They told me their concerns. The woman said they cut down a tree. The man said, but there's not been any tree there. I agreed with him. I didn't get their names, but I did get a license plate of their silver Impala. May 31, 2017, I called an attorney and I left a message. June 5, 2017, the attorney called me back. He gave me advice and I followed it. June 6, 2017, I called the city attorney. I left a message. June 9, 2017, the city attorney called back. I told him my story and my concerns, and he told me he would talk to Linda and Mark and someone would get back to me. I asked, as advised, when will you get back to me? He said, I won't, but someone will. No one has. June 19, 2017, I called the surveyors. No call back. 1:16 p.m. I called again. No call back. Absolutely nothing. 1:16 p.m. I called an attorney. I talked to him. He made an appointment to meet and talk. Nicole, my daughter, called the city. She talked with Linda. June 20th, 2017, 11:29 a.m., I called the surveyor again. No answer, no calls back. June 22nd, 2017, I met with the attorney. He took my case. We met once at the cemetery, July 11th, 2017. September 7th, 2017, 4:59 p.m., Matt called, talking of kids at OU College that studies the trees, to compare the two trees and to survey the existing tree. Matt talked of going to the cemetery and digging it up to find where the trees were. I told him we have a probe. May 5th, 2018, Madison and I probed the area where they said they cut down a tree. No stumps. We probed where a tree would have stood if ever there was a tree in that area. No stumps. May 9, 2018, 3 years. May 11, 2018, 2:14 p.m., I called Matt to tell him about the probe. June 20th, 2018, I'm waiting to hear back from Matt, the attorney. I compared pictures of a headstone, 1975-1982, man and woman, husband and wife, used to sit on the north side of the east-west street, now sits on the south side of the east-west street. June 27, 2018, 2:05 p.m., Matt called. He said he called the city. Steve is now the new city manager. Steve is to get back to him within 10 days, June 27th to July 12th, or the 16th, depending on the 4th of July. July 17th, 2018, Steve, the city manager, called Matt back. Matt said him and Steve would be meeting to look over pictures and to talk about who's right and who's wrong. Matt said, I told the city manager they did a good job at cutting that tree out. There were no tree roots there. We probed. July 24th, 2018, I dropped off the pictures to Matt of the probing. Matt isn't in. July 31st, 2018, no call from the attorney. August 7th, 2018, 11:31 a.m., Matt called. He said he's spoken with Stan. The city manager job went back to Stan. Stan is going to hire a JGVE engineer to survey. September 12, 2018, no word from Matt or anyone. November 15, 2018, Matt called to update about Stan. He said he asked Linda to hire a surveyor, but Linda is to retire. November 16, 2018, Matt asked me to go to the cemetery to probe where the second tree was, the north tree. We were not able to probe that area because of the water that lays on the ground. Matt asked me to call him every day or every other day after Thanksgiving. November 27, 2018, 3:52 p.m., the first call to Matt after Thanksgiving. Matt called back at 4:25 p.m. He said he left a message for Stan, and Stan called him back today. Stan is calling a surveyor. November 30th, 2018, I called Matt. At December 10th, 2018, 2:50 p.m., Matt called. He said he hasn't heard from Stan. December 12th, 2018, I called Matt. He's in court. 1 week, 1 day, no call back. January 4th, 2019, I heard from Matt. He said Stan is apologizing for not getting back to us. Stan has lost Matt's phone number. January 8, 2019, I called Matt. He wasn't in. 3:19 p.m., Matt called back. He hasn't heard from Stan. January 11, 2019, Matt called. He said he talked to Stan and he and Stan are going to meet on Monday or Wednesday, but Stan has not given any time yet. January 14, 2019, Matt called saying, we have a meeting at 2 p.m. on January 16, 2019. Meeting with Stan, Mark, my attorney Matt, and myself. January 15, 2019, 4:44 p.m. A news segment on News 9 talking about the cemetery and how it floods all the time. January 16, 2019, 9 a.m., I called Matt to talk to him about the news segment. 2 p.m., we are at the meeting, Stan, Mark, Vanessa, Matt, and I. They admitted the headstones were moved, and Stan handed Matt a paper. We discussed meeting Mark at the cemetery on Friday, January 18, 2019, to see where the surveyor said the headstones should be. Matt said, Emily, if you need me to be there, I will come out with you. January 18, 2019, 11:28 a.m., Mark called. He asked if we could meet at 1:30 p.m. I called Matt. 11:31 a.m. I called Matt. 11:32 a.m. I called Matt. 11:33 a.m. Christmas music is playing on the phone. No answer, no call back. 1:10 p.m. I arrived at the cemetery. The clock switched to 1:11 p.m. I drove back to see my grandson, then I drove around to see Megan. I saw the red boxes drawn in the grass, and I drove away. I started to cry knowing the red boxes were not in the right spot. I pulled back up to the area to take pictures, but I saw Mark driving towards me. I showed Mark where the headstones go. I even told him an example of a picture he was holding that showed where the beep headstone should sit. I arrived home shortly after. I called Matt. He was with a client, and I left a message. 5:19 p.m. Matt called back. I told him that the red boxes were drawn in the grass even further away from where they belong, even from where the flood washed them away. He asked if Mark said he would get it done. I said he said he would get it taken care of for me. I have not heard any more. January 29th, 2019, 1:29 p.m. I called Matt. He's not heard from anyone. Matt said he would call them next week. I addressed my concerns with Matt about the city digging up that cemetery to fix the drains until they get the area fixed with Megan. He agreed. He said they would be stupid to try to do anything. February 5th, 2019, 8:41 a.m. Matt called. He left a message. February 6, 2019, 2:55 p.m. I called Matt back. He was just saying to call him if I hear from Stan, or he would call me if he hears from them. February 8, 2019, 2:26 p.m. Matt called. He said he just heard from Stan. Stan had been at home sick. They talked, and Stan asked Matt, if we dig, how are we going to know it's her? Matt said he told him there is a Bible with her name engraved on it. February 14, 2019, I called Matt. He's out the door to court. He has not heard from Stan. February 22nd, 2019, I went into Matt's office. No word from Stan. February 25th, 2019, 3:20 p.m. Matt called. He said he called Stan. Stan didn't remember any conversations with Matt from 3 weeks ago. Stan is going to talk to the city attorney and Mark about the laws of digging up where our property site is. Matt said he would call the city attorney. Matt was to give Stan until March 4th, 2019, and then Matt mentioned filing a litigation. Matt knows I do not want to dig her up. Matt even asked, I wonder why no one else is complaining. I said, oh, I'm sure there are people complaining, and they are telling them the same thing. February 26, 2019, no call. February 27, 2019, no call. February 28, 2019, no calls. March 1st, 2019, still no calls. March 4th, 2019, I finished writing the differences of pictures. March 5th, 2019, no words until 2:28 p.m. Matt called. Stan had not called back. He said, let's file litigation. We talked about digging the headstone up. We talked about price. Matt asked me to call him Tuesday, March 12th, 2019, and he would call Stan. March 6, 2019. Madison and I probed the second area where the north tree used to stand. We probed in 3 different areas. When Madison stuck it in the area I thought, she said she felt it hit when it hit, about 6 to 8 inches down. March 12, 2019, I did not hear from Matt. March 13, 2019, no word from Matt. March 18, 2019, 9:54 a.m. Matt called. He asked he said he just talked to Stan. Stan will talk to Brian, the city attorney, to see what we can do. Matt said Stan had to ask for my phone number again. Matt talked of reading the laws of other stories that have gone through this same thing. 10:39 a.m. Matt called back saying the law is on our side. He said Stan is to call me back as soon as he talks to Brian. As of March 27th, 2019, not one word. March 29th, 2019, Matt called. Stan is going to set up 3 different dates for my attorney to meet with their attorney about the laws. Matt said, Stan asked how the baby passed. Matt asked if we dug it up, could you identify the casket without having to open the casket? I said, yes, I have pictures. Matt said, get your pictures out. April 3rd, 2019, Matt was to call Stan. I haven't heard anything. Friday, April 5th, 2019, I have not heard a word. April 12th, 2019, 2 weeks of Stan calling Matt to set up appointments for lawyers to talk. April 13th, 2019, Madison got Megan's photo album out. April 15th, 2019, beginning of the 3rd week, I have not heard anything. April 22nd, 2019, still I've heard nothing. April 23rd, 2019, Matt called. I'm disappointed to find out nothing is being done. There has been no communication the past 3 weeks. Matt asked about me and my family talking about digging her up. I told Matt I do not want to do that, but if we have to resort to that, we will dig her up and have her cremated. 2:37 p.m. I called the funeral home. April 24th, 2019, 9:48 a.m. The lady from the funeral home called back. She told me the process and the cost. She was going to call the big boat company and the medical examiner. She's waiting on the health department to call her back. She said she was going to call the city to see what their process is. 9:56 a.m. I called Matt to tell him the process. He wasn't in. 11:52 a.m. Matt called me back. He told me I did an awesome job on my timeline. He said, I even went back to double check the times and dates of what you gave me, and they all matched up. Matt said he would call Stan and let him know. We are fed up. Matt asked me to ask the lady at the funeral home if we would be able to attend the groundbreaking. April 26, 2019, Matt called. He told me again, you did a great job on your timeline. He said, we are done with Stan. We are not waiting on Stan. Stan is retiring. The new city manager is now another man. Matt called him Brooks. He isn't in. We talked about Google Earth when they cut down the north tree we found between May 2010 and October 2011. April 30th, 2019, 2:19 p.m., Matt called and I missed his call. 2:26 p.m., I called Matt back. Matt talked to Brooks yesterday on April 29th, 2019. Matt said Brooks is to set up an appointment on May 13th, 2019. Matt and I, Brooks, their attorney, and Stan. Matt said Brooks didn't have any idea what had been going on. And for that reason is of why, at times I just don't use other people's names. Matt asked, did you view Google Earth? I told him yes. He said it's pretty cool how you can view that. I said, yes, it is cool. I was looking for the 2 trees. when they said they cut one out. Matt said, I was looking at the poles and the other trees. May 1st, 2019, Nicole and I went to the health department. We went to get Megan's death certificate. They didn't have one on file. 10:17 a.m. We left there. Nicole called the funeral home that buried Megan. Nicole asked for the paperwork for Megan's burial. The woman told her she would have to go to the trailer to find it. The woman told Nicole she would call her back by lunch. 11:08 a.m. Matt called. I missed his call. 11:09 a.m. I called Matt back. He said we have an appointment at the city hall, the same building where we met Stan, same area, second floor, on May 13th, 2019 at 9 a.m. 11:57 a.m. Nicole had to call the woman back at the funeral home. She was still in the shed looking for the paperwork. 4:43 p.m. The funeral director called Nicole. He asked what we were trying to do. Nicole told them briefly what was going on. He told her he didn't file one back then because she wasn't a 6-month term. He said he could look for her paperwork to see what they have. He told Nicole not to be disrespectful, but there isn't anything there. She wasn't anything. Nicole said, I understand what you're saying, but we still want her out of there. He said, I can get the documents together and let you know when to pick them up. 5:37 p.m., the funeral director called to tell Nicole to pick up the documents. May 2nd, 2019, Nicole and I went to pick up the documents. 4:47 p.m., I sent the woman at the funeral home the documents from the funeral home that buried Megan to her funeral home. I emailed them to her. May 7th, 2019, I finished the rough draft of the timeline for the case. I put the pictures in my timeline for the meeting on Monday. May 9th, 2019, 4 years. May 13th, 2019. Today is 4 years and 4 days. 9 a.m. Meeting. Brooks, Stan, Vanessa, Randy, Matt, and I. I told my story from beginning to end. I gave Matt and Brooks, the new city manager, a copy of the timeline of events. They asked how we would identify her if we dig it up. Matt told them, a Bible with her name engraved, and I said, a crocheted blanket. We got permission to dig, and they all agreed we could, and there would be no problem. From this day, May 13th, 2019, until August 29th, 2019, Matt worked on a petition. Nicole and I notarized papers for court. He asked us to notarize an emergency injunction, which he said would stop them if they started to dig. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you listening. If you have any comments or questions, you can email me at Emily McMahon, EmilymcMahan 208 at gmail.com. Thank you and stay kind with your words.